Your media, where you are. There are so many demands on you. Demands at home, in the boardroom, and in the bedroom. You have to be jack of all trades, wearing a different hat when the moment arises. You're on all the time, always on the clock, always catching up. Take care of you. Introducing Your Media, your podcast network that meets you where you are, when you need it, at your time, in your space, when you feel like it. You come first. Your Media, where you are. With every moment, you are creating an impression. Make sure it's an impression by design. This is the Transcript with Tshiamo.
And of course, it's a lovely Thursday, and you are tuned in, or rather listening to the Transcript with me, Tshiamo Mudisane. Welcome. Wow, today is I think it's a beautiful day outside, whatever. But yeah, so the topic I have today, or I'm discussing rather, is a journey into the unknown. And just to give you context on that, rather, it's about I'll be sitting with two guests, two businesswomen, entrepreneurs who have gone against the norm and paved a way for themselves, be it in business, in the industry that they are in specifically, and literally just doing something different to what everyone is doing. And we're talking about, it's a candid conversation, talking about the ups and downs. If you're tuned in, you're probably wondering why I said two women and there's only one in studio. Our other guest is running a bit late, so she'll join us shortly. But in studio right now with me, I am sitting down with, do I say CEO? The CEO of adoreD'amour. adoreD'amour shoe line. And, an entrepreneur. Welcome, Mathapelo. Hi, how are you?
I'm finding you, Tshiamo. Thank you for inviting me. I know it's just like a lot of people like to pronounce the brand as adoreD'amour, but it's
Is it?
actually adoreD'amour.
Or is it D'Amour? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes. But thank
Okay.
you for inviting me over. I'm so
Mike,
glad and happy to be here.
thank you for, coming on.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. It's a lovely weather outside. It's
Mm-hmm.
super hot. We're embracing spring and summer. So yeah, I'm doing very well.
So when we talk about into the unknown,
Yeah.
right? Obviously, to give context, you are in the shoe industry. Tell me about that, the venturing. How did that go about? How did you go about finding your niche and saying, okay, this is what I'm doing? And how has it been?
It's been a roller coaster of going into this industry and finding my business, my own brand. I started the brand in 2017,
I didn't
and
know this, hey?
yeah. And when I started out in 2017, I was still trying to find my footing as a businesswoman, trying to learn the way. So I was still working a full time job as well as running my own business. So later on in last year, I decided to apply for a position to be found and CEO of adoreD'amour, and luckily they hired me. And yeah, and it's been full time that I've been running the business since we rebranded. And yeah, and most people ask me like, did I ever think I was going to be in the footwear industry? Not in a million years. I like to think that my career found me accidentally. And it's been a really great experience. And how I found my niche was that eventually, when I wanted to start my business, I knew that I hadn't seen any local brand or any local woman like shoe designers or that offered affluent shoes, because most of our shoes in South Africa are imported from overseas.
Yeah.
So I wanted to actually have a brand or build a brand that can compete within international standards.
So, okay, the name. Why not Tirata Ditlhako or, Ditlhako?
There's nothing wrong in having like vernacular name for your brand.
Mm.
But I wanted to come up with a name that meant something to me. And first of all, the meaning of the brand is I love love. And the
Yes.
reason why I came with that is because I believe anything that I do in life stems from love, or every beautiful creation that I do, or any activity I immerse myself into. If I fully love what I'm doing, you create beautiful things. So, I knew that I wanted something memorable, something that can compete within international standards as well. And yeah, and that's when I came up with the word, and I love love, which means adoreD'amour in French.
That's, I mean, so where are you from, actually? Because we need to understand the
Yeah.
French.
So originally I'm from the east of Johannesburg,
Yes.
or Ekurhuleni. I was born in Katlehong.
Okay,
So
I'm
my
also from the
parents-
East.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm from
power
the
to the
East.
East girls.
Right. I've been saying in the East we have them. Like,
we have
I've
them.
been telling people. Mhm.
Yeah, so my parents live in Boksburg, and I was always, at a younger age, I was always, East Rand, it's quiet, so I was always
It's one of the
shielded away
reasons I
from the
left.
fast life. So when I matriculated, I was like, Joesbeck, bye, I'm coming to Joburg. And yeah, then I started my corporate life in Joburg and worked a couple of years. And then in my last few years of working before going into full-time being an entrepreneur, I worked for a French company. So and that's where I learned a lot about luxury. I learned about retail. So I think I picked up that as well, like, oh, this would sound nice in French, and that kind of went with me and the meaning of the actual brand. Yeah. So yeah, that's how
Did you
I
ever
say.
picture yourself as an entrepreneur? Like, did you, they say entrepreneurs are not made, they're born. What's your take?
It's actually right. I would like to say entrepreneurs are born, because I won't lie to you. From a younger age, Tiamone, I always thought I knew that I was going to be an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
And I think also the guidance of my parents were always encouraging me to start your own business and not rely to work on someone else.
Oh, nice.
However, at the time, I really thought in my deepest of hearts and soul, I thought I was going to be a restaurateur. I was going to have a restaurant.
Go oratancho.
Yeah, because I love cooking. But then I had my first stint in entrepreneurship before I went into the fashion or footwear industry. And I had a catering company. I was like, catering is not for me. Weekend after weekend,
Go, I can't even picture you.
No.
Firstly, you are like yay high. So now go picture how okay deep go 3 foot.
I was on 3 foot, and I mean, I used to had a company that we did, but it was and cook out on weekends. So we would do like go and do cookouts at certain events, and then every weekend. But then I realized it was not for me, because yeah, the pizza say that he gets heater every weekend and stuff, and it was doing very well. So I ended up selling that business to my friend, because I wanted to find something that I like.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I still look cute.
Oh, you're a good friend, hey? Not a whole.
No, I sold it off. So I didn't even give it. I sold it off. I was like, listen.
But I
here you
mean,
go.
that's also just trusting your friendship.
Yeah, but the thing is, selling off is something different, because I didn't want the brand anymore. But then it's already there. They felt that they could, do something about the brand. And it's like selling off. It was, instead of me, so then I transferred. I was like, okay, I'll sell it off to you. And then I started my own thing. And I still wanted to look cute, man. Imagine high heels. No, that was not gonna work for me.
But so, I want to understand the mind. I personally know what happens to me, like an entrepreneur. I feel like as a freelancer, the one thing that's helped me sustain myself is having that entrepreneurship mindset.
Yeah.
But I want to, if you had, let's say I did not know,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting at home and I'm just like, how do I know if I'm an entrepreneur? Yes, I mean, we all have ideas.
Yeah.
But, it goes as far as knowing that you can do this and actually doing it.
There's, for me, I feel like for you to know if you're an entrepreneur, there's 3 things that you need to have, just like quality wise. And the first thing, an entrepreneur is resourceful, because I'm knowing that industry is like a roller coaster. Today your income is there, tomorrow your income is like
Yeah.
and you need to be able to sustain that. So if you have like bad days where you need to, how do you resource? And being resourceful can start from how you're gonna fund your business. Who you're gonna find to fund your business, how you're gonna pay for the employees if your sales are low or they're not doing well. So you need to be resourceful. And number two, you need to have patience. And having patience comes with passion, because if you love something so much and you believe so strongly in it, you'll have patience because you'll work on it up until it doesn't crack. Like, you don't give up. Because when I started in the industry, I was reselling shoes for someone else. Like one box, compared to now, we sell almost close to 100 pairs of shoes in a month from one box. So imagine if that journey from where we started in 2017 to now, and there were months where it's like no shoes at all, or just 2 pairs of shoes in a month, someone would have just given up and be like, no, this is not. So you need to have the patience and the passion for what you're doing. And again, it goes back to the third thing, that you need to have the passion and resilience. If you don't have passion for what you're doing, because a lot of people go into entrepreneurship because they want to make quick money. And I always say, well, if you want to make quick money, then you're a tenderpreneur, you're not an entrepreneur.
And I think that's very true, hey? Because people think, if we're getting, like, entrepreneurship is just getting that money quick. Like, you want to start today and tomorrow people must come. And you must be sold out.
You must be sold out.
And it's like,
that's not the
no, babe.
No,
there are days where you're going to sit with your stock.
Tshiamo, I remember we rebranded. So we had, and there were like countless issues before we relaunched. And that is like from the time I left my work and then I went full time and we started the rebrand. And then to the time that we were going to open, like launch, and we're selling. We were prepared with my team. We spent time preparing everything. Launch day comes, dollar sale. Now we've done our marketing. We've excited the consumers. Consumers are like, oh, we're so excited. This is going to come. It took us 15 days before we sold one pair of shoes. I remember waking up every morning and so much anxiety. I was like, oh my God, this was not supposed to happen. I don't think I made for this. I'm like, cut out. But then, with prayer and God and, going back to the same values of like, everything takes time, it takes patience. Is it something that I really want to do? Is it something I love? And I'm like, I can't see myself doing anything else besides what I'm doing right now. And it's like, I'm going to make it work. And surely it did. But then till this very day, I'm still waiting to make my millions. And I'm going to work on it.
The funny thing is, you look from the outside looking in. Yeah. I'm looking at these luxury shoes and I'm like, oh, Mathapelo is definitely, like, I put you like, I'm like, ooh, Louboutin,
Thank you.
Miguel is coining. You understand? Like,
yeah.
She's not even about us, like Mathapelo. Just, you grace people with your presence. You're like, oh, I came down.
No.
I'm like, I had to take a chopper and my driver.
So, darling, I'm receiving all of that.
But how do you then detach from that fantasy, or not really the fantasy, but that's the dream, that's the goal.
That's the dream. We all want to be like a Miranda.
You know what I mean?
From Devil Wears Prada.
100%. Yeah. So how do you detach? How do you say, that's where I'm going? This is where I am now. And how do you stay present in that
like
now?
I think I've learned it's taking baby steps, and quite funny enough, I had to learn along the way, because even when I went to the entrepreneurship space and I started my brand, I was like, yeah, month 1, 500,000. I get it, month 2, 2 million. I was already thinking that. I was like, go big or go home, girl. And then life showed me, I was like, no.
Honey, what it's going to be?
You're going to take baby steps. You're going to grow.
500.
Gradually. And how I managed to stay in that is because every time I move forward, I keep reflecting on what I've achieved in the back. I think about the days where I sold one pair of shoes. I think about the days when I bought my first inventory. I think about the days where we made our first 20,000 or first 30,000 turnover a month. So I keep reflecting back and looking at the humble beginnings and the milestones that we keep achieving. It consistently encourages me to the future that I have planned ahead. You know, that, okay, I'm still on the right track, but I'm still being able to be grounded. And I'm, quite blessed that I'm surrounded by good team members, my employees, and just generally, I think I love people. I love people. And I think even if I had to be a billionaire one day, I'll still be the same Mathapelo. Maybe
I don't
maybe
know.
Rihanna, but
Right. But I think it's Oprah who said, money doesn't change someone, money exposes,
yeah, yeah,
who someone is.
yeah.
And people will often say, yeah, but loss and whatever. And it's like, no, guys, like, if anything, now you get to see me. Like, if next time, if Kimoto naturally was singing,
like you would have
you know what I
seen.
mean?
But it's like, guys, but remember what our princess said, man,
Eh.
guys.
No, it does though.
So today so tomorrow I'm gonna be like, far darling. I'm like,
Honey.
Tshiamo, how are you? God is your door. Yes,
Hide your dogs. I'm joking.
Yeah, so I always consistently like just reflect on my past and my milestones, and I'm forever grateful, for the experiences that I've had. And then that I still look forward, but I stay present and current, and try to make sure that I'm still focusing, that I'm on the right path.
So when you were doing your research, I'm so intrigued in this industry, because
Yes.
for me, I'm like, shoes, heels are worn by women, right? They cater for the female market.
Yeah.
But it's an industry that is not owned by females.
No.
Like, the main consumer. Do you understand? Like, Louboutins, he's Christian. He's not.
And there's a good answer to that. Funny enough, when you look at the research and background of high heels, they were actually made for men.
Okay.
And the high heels are not worn for women back in the 1800s. And
Yes.
so on. They were made for men that were short, that wanted to look tall. And then
short men syndrome.
Yes. So then along the way, I think with fashion, it evolved, and then women ended up being the ones that are taking over. And it's so funny that the industries that are so much dominated by female consumers are the ones that are actually run by men. And you mentioned like your Christian Louboutins, your Tom Fords, Jimmy Choo, they're all male. Gentlemen that actually design for men. I mean, it's like even your basic bra. A bra was invented by a man.
Yes.
And
like, you don't even know how painful this thing is.
So when I went into the industry, I think, and I'm so proud of the industry, and I feel like there's so much plenty of room for other women to join the industry. I don't want to be the only woman. And when I joined, I mean, there were my other counterparts locally that are already manufacturing, that are really got big brands, and they're doing like they're in the sneaker, section of the footwear. And when I wanted to join, I was like, okay, I found my niche. I was like, I've never seen a woman's footwear brand that is is designed by a South African woman, or even if a man, like, I was like, actually, why don't I become one of those women to design it? I mean, with the research, I didn't know who else had done it. So most of the shoes that we buy are from bigger retail stores that are from overseas brands. So where's like a South African? I was like, okay, I'm going to do that because I'm a woman. I know what I want to wear. I know what women want. Women want
and what's painful and what's not, and where the pain is.
But we love to look, we like to have shoes that put together our outfit. That say a statement, just like a woman will always have like a bag and pair of shoes. And
my mom used to say, "Mosadiki bag."
Wait again.
Yeah. How to conclude? I was a bag. Lipstick do to guy. Chelete do to guy.
I don't like life. Yeah, how we do to guy.
Hey, really?
Shoot, yeah. So then that's when I decided to go in the industry, and it took years to test out the industry, and that was trying to, first you need to find out if people will actually buy the shoes. Type of shoes people will buy. Is there like people people open-minded for a local brand. And yeah, once I did my research and started to see that it's actually working out, and then I started to expand and say, okay, now I want to design my own brand.
I just, it's all of this, like what's going into your, what's the one fear? What is the one fear you had? And how did you overcome it?
The one thing, what do you mean? Like the one thing I had, like the
One fear.
one fear, sorry. The one fear I had was the fear of starting. And that was mainly because I overthought it so much that people would not like what I'm selling, would not like my product at all. So I was like, no, okay. And funny enough, when I registered the business in 2017, it took me almost 8 months to try sell the first shoe. Not because I didn't have stock or I didn't have the supply or I didn't have everything. I was just so scared for no reason. I was just like so scared, like, oh, what if people don't like my product? What if people think? What if I have got so much anxiety. Even when we're relaunching now, we're launching the first collection of adoreD'amour. The fear has always been the same. What if people don't like it? And now I've only overcome that, and I have overcome it, that someone made me realize that there's billions and billions of people on the planet, and you can't tell me there's not even one person out of that billion who would want to buy your product. So that's how I got it. And then now look at us now. There's a lot of women.
And I think that's rule number one of entrepreneurship. You find your market, and you supply that
market. Exactly. You're so right. A lot of times we make a mistake that we want to supply everyone,
yes,
and everything. And quite honestly, your business
House
won't
Paza.
grow. No, yeah, exactly. O batla ho rekisa ditlhako ka mo, o batla ho rekisa dikip-kipi,
Yeah.
Girl, why you added, let's just put a lipstick in there. Like, who are you trying to attract and what are you trying to sell? So yeah.
I like the fact that you said the first, your one fear was starting, right? Because for most people, for most people, starting is the fear.
Yeah.
You start, you think to yourself,
Yeah.
How's that gonna be and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And once you've started, you're like, but what was I scared of?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
And it's actually it's two things, because first is the fear of starting, and then you just were like, okay, why was I scared of even starting? Because look at me now,
Yeah.
I'm doing quite good, I'm coping. And then the second thing, I think the worry is that normally when you have a dream about starting a business, we always think big. We think the Miranda with the devil wears Prada stage, like where you're that CEO in a big building and stuff. And then we try to have these big dreams that we find that you need 10 million to start the business, instead of actually doing like a reverse where you scale down your business and you need to actually start thinking about your business from when you started it in your bedroom or you started it in your mother's garage and so forth. So for me, I find that it's most of like a lot of entrepreneurs, we fear that we dream so big about the brands, that we then start having fears like, oh, what if it doesn't work out? Oh, what if I don't have enough money to start this brand? Or what if like people don't like my brand? Yeah.
If you're watching, obviously you know that our second guest has joined us in studio. Hi, Mbali, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
I'm good, thanks. So, just to give you context, we're talking about obviously the journey into the unknown.
Okay.
And what that's about is just mostly the both of you. This is Mathapelo.
No.
Yeah. So I think the both of you have ventured into business and into industries that are. We're just discussing that now. It's the industries that are female, catering for female needs, but not mostly female owned. And you guys have decided to break that norm and be that woman in that industry that says, I know what my peers or what women want because I am one, and we're just talking about the fears you had, the challenges starting out. I mean, cosmetics, I can imagine, it's just like, but why, how? And I like your story because you started off is it the Navy or
the Navy?
How that even came about is what I want to understand. Like,
At the Navy. Can I just?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So you want me to?
Yes, please.
My journey.
Yeah.
Oh, so like I started in the Navy in 2008. I dropped out of varsity. I was in TUT doing analytical chemistry, and I was like, guys, I was problematic. I remember I used to ask my dad for money every day to buy new clothes every day. So when the opportunity to join the Navy, I love the Navy because my grandmother and my mother worked in the defense force.
Oh, nice.
So now the opportunity came now to be in the Navy. I applied, then did some tests and entry tests and everything, and then I was called back and accepted. Then I joined the Navy. It was July 2008 when I left TUT, and I told my friends at TUT, like, guys, I'm going to work. I want money. I don't have time for this, to sit in class every day and do this. Like, I'm a smart girl, but I don't.
I mean, if you got into chemistry, I don't, you know what I mean?
Girl, I think maybe my teachers are thinking this one, maybe she's like some, academic or something. But being in class was so boring for me.
Are you that girl? Because I you know, there are those people in school who don't necessarily have to study for hours.
Yes,
but
I
will
don't
get an
like.
A.
I'm problematic in class. If you're trying to concentrate, I'm that jokey.
And then you come up with an A plus.
Come exam time, or like I'll
can't.
study a day before or 2 days before, and so I joined the Navy. 10 years in the Navy. So 2000.
10 years you stayed.
Yes, I stayed for 10 years in the Navy, but I always knew that I don't belong here. And also, I wanted like this life, this beautiful life. And my 9 to 5 salary was not enough, and it was never going to give me the life that I want. Even if I like got promoted to the highest position there, it still won't be enough. And I was like, this is a sign and also a message to me that it means you need to move and do something. But I knew that a 9 to 5 was not going to be my thing anymore. I wanted to be a leader. I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to control my time. I wanted to control my life. So I was like, so business. And then I had social media following, obviously. I was like, how do I make this work for me?
Mbali, 10 years. I'm stuck on 10 years.
Yes, like
I can't see
the
you.
Navy.
I'm trying to see you like drilling. Like, what's a drill?
I'm
What's
telling
a
you.
kingy? Attention. Yeah, you know, the whole thing.
Can I go live?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
I'm trying to.
So, yeah. 10 years in the Navy, 2018. I was like, I am leaving this place. And then Feb 2019, I left. Then I started focusing on the business, like full time now. But when I was still in the Navy, I was still doing some things like doing short courses with Vega. And I did a makeup course too, because I wanted to understand like how to apply makeup, how the products should sit on the skin and all that. And then I left Feb, focused on the business. August, I was like, okay, fine, I'm going to go see my supplier and all the products that they made, like samples and everything, so that I can approve now and see like the back end of the business. You want to see where your products are made. You want to see the people you're dealing with too, because it's a lot of money. I can't just send money to someone that I don't know, I don't see. So I wanted to do that and make sure that the products are safe. Also, they have paperwork. So my mentor was like, please, 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 please ask them for paperwork to see that they are certified and everything. And I did that. Went there. It was very nice, very, very nice for like a week. Came back, started pushing my brand online every day, every single day. And that's something I took from DJ Sbu, because I once attended it was like something with Capitec where DJ Sbu was speaking, and he was like, you have to push your brand every day. And we see with More Fire that he does that every single day. Like More Fire, when you see DJ Sbu, you see More Fire. So
Yeah.
I wanted that. When people see Gorgeous Mbali, I wanted them to see Hermosa Flow. And yeah, you work every day, like you work hard every day. You don't launch a business and then and leave it like that. You have to be,
yeah.
yes, you have to be the business. You have to wake up every day, even though you are your own boss. But remember, you have like a 9 to 5 now that you are controlling. But it's a 9 to 5. Treat it like you're going to work. You have to work. You have to put in the hours and be productive. And yeah, that's how you build a brand.
I think you mentioned some key points. You mentioned that you had a mentorship. And I know your mentor was this Anna Bentley.
Yeah, it's Ntombentle and Caroline. Caroline is in London. Yeah.
How did you? Where did you get a word of them? How did that start? And then also to you, Mathapelo.
I also think with this mentor thing, ne, it's not like it's a formal thing where you're like, hi, may you please be my mentor. You just find women in business, in whatever industry you're trying to go into, that have been there and have experience. Then you just look at the way they do things. And also, if you need advice, you know that you have someone that you can call and be like, hey, I have this problem, blah blah blah. They've been doing this longer than you, so obviously maybe they have a solution for you. And yeah, so Sis Ntombentle was pushing me like almost every time. When she called me to do Afro botanics work for her, she'll be like, Mbali, so besides influencing, what do you want to do? Where do you want to take this? Like, how are you going to use your influence, your social media influence, to build something that you own? And when I went into business, she was someone that I called, someone that I spoke to, someone that I would run my ideas, past. And Caroline has been there also. I started influencing because of Caroline. I started making money because of Caroline, because she taught me the whole thing, how to do it, how to reply to brands, how to collaborate and work with brands. And she's been there. Even now, she's still that big sister that I can call anytime. You need people like that.
For you, Mathapelo, mentorship?
Mine, it's quite funny because the industry, that's the problem, is that not a lot of people are in the industry. And particularly like when it comes to shoe design, and particularly when it comes to designing women's food. So I'd have to say that I'm my own mentor.
Okay.
And it's quite sad, because even when you look at the manufacturers that we go into in South Africa, there's no manufacturers that actually make women's shoes. And even if you try to propose something like that, even they male dominated, they're like old umpies, and they'll tell you like, no, sissy, we're not doing that. No, we can't do that. And yeah, and I think for me, I've had to be my own source of inspiration. And if I don't know anything, and for me, that my career or my job or my brand or design issues, everything is self-taught. I never went to a fashion design school. For all you know, a lot of my consumers, they tend to laugh at me because I can't even draw to save my life. But then the concept and the idea of what I want to do, I do. And the only way I've had to, find footing for myself is either, if I don't know something, I will either watch a YouTube channel to try and understand the industry, to try and understand how the particular shoe is made. And secondly, I think it's just trying to keep a happy spirit. But what I've seen a gap is that I get a lot of messages from ladies saying, hey, I want to start my shoe brand. Can you mentor me? At this present moment, I don't have the capacity because I'm still finding myself.
Yeah.
And I always say that by the time I do a mentorship program, I want to be able to give my all to you. I want to be able to give you advice that I've learned, not halfway where I'm
Yeah,
like, "Eh,
because I'm still stumbling.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find my footing. So that eventually will come around in the future, where we can open, because I see that there isn't anyone to give us, and I hope there'll be more women that go into my industry and are able to also be mentors to the future generation.
Let's talk about that. That was something I wanted to touch on. I think I get entrepreneurship, and for me, and how I'd classify it would be that, you see a gap
Yeah.
and you go in, you know.
Mm.
However, I've seen that once you've found that gap, all of a sudden, influx. Like now, everyone's like, actually, I also want to start. And you're like, but why didn't you start? Right. So my thing is like, with that, do you think that it's monkey see, monkey do? Because you have tested it out, people are now thinking, "Nami ngayenza imali." And my thing is with that, the fear that I have with that is you are not guaranteed. If I come and open a, Tshiamo lip line, cosmetic, you know what I mean? Cosmetics and food. I don't know if I would be able to cover half the amount of influence and money that you guys make. But because I'm seeing that, okay, if Mbali can, I can. If Mathapelo can, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I always think about it that it's a two-way thing. Okay. Um, my own take on business is that there, there isn't really a saturation. Okay. Because if you think about it, Mbali's doing makeup, I'm doing footwear. They've been your likes of Tom Ford, they've been your Estee Lauders. There's been, so if we already feel like, yo, I'm not going to do this because now there's these big brands that are ready, then you're never going to start. And the only difference is that when I started was like I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. I just wanted to make the wheel better. So when I went into the footwear industry, it was not because I wanted to have a shoe that you can fly with instead of walk with a normal shoe. It's that okay, I'm making women's shoes. There's plenty, there's thousands, there's hundreds of footwear brands. I mean that make women's shoes. But what sets my shoe brand apart from the rest? And I had to find my niche of clientele, my target market. I had to find my style of design, because Tshiamo cannot go and design adoreD'amour shoes based on that. Maybe that's where you won't get an influx. But Tshiamo can still have a footwear brand, but probably your catering is that you want to do baby and mom matching shoes, and then you blow up because then you have found your niche of people who want to buy those types of shoes. So the difference is that people need to understand, if you go into an industry and Mathapelo is an inspiration, Bali is an inspiration, it's perfectly fine. But then if you're gonna go into industry, it must be something that we love. We're doing something that we love.
Yes.
We're not doing it because we are following other people. Yes, we might be taking inspiration from bigger brands because we want to see our brands as well as big, but it's something that I'd love. Like for instance, I could be like an industry where it's like construction. I'm like, okay, everyone is making money in construction. Let me go into construction. I might go into it, but because I don't have the passion, and building things, I'm probably not gonna grow my brand because I'm just doing it because I'm thinking I can get a contract every
Yes.
million and then that's
A quick
it.
buck.
A quick buck, yeah.
So, Mina, okay, I'm going to tap into the spiritual side of everything now. I believe that we are all created for something, to flourish in something.
It's covering you. Yeah.
Yeah, to flourish in something, like whatever business that you want to do or whatever in life. You want to be an actor, you want to be a doctor, you want to be whatever. So, and also with you are born, I get,
Me.
and then before you're born, before you even like Tshiamo, your parents meet you as Tshiamo and this and this and this, your story is thing. You have a story. You're just coming in to show up and live and
Okay.
walk that journey that God has already created for you.
Okay.
And your calling also, passion, calling, and all that. So I believe that a lot of us are just doing things because the focus is money. And and not passion, and also not your calling. You know that you don't like this, you know that you're not enjoying this. And if you're not enjoying something, we can see from your work, even the results, like everything, it'll say, this one doesn't like this,
true.
only doing it for money.
Yeah.
So if you know for a fact that what you are doing is what you were created to do, you don't fear anyone coming into the same space industry as you. They can have all the power, they can have social media power. A girl can create, like, can start a makeup brand tomorrow with 100 followers on Instagram, but they are they were created for that. It's their passion, calling, and all that, and make it more than me with 500,000 followers or whatever. You understand? And also, you need to work hard, because this thing of people saying that no, people are doing this because of I'm doing it. No, you don't own any space, you don't own any industry.
Yeah.
People are going to, and you should consider yourself lucky. The fact that you went into something first, and also share your story with other people. You have to share your story. The reason why you're doing what you're doing is to inspire. Yes, is to inspire other people, and not see other people as your competition, as what, because you know that you are operating in the area of your calling and your passion. So nothing will fail. No one can take away anything from you. The gifts that God gave you, no one can take away from you. The only thing you can do is be a blessing to other people, because you are blessed.
Brings me to my next talking point, which is, and I love how this, so I never have a set of questions that I ask, because I like to let the conversation flow in the way that it's supposed to.
Yeah.
How important is it? Earlier on you touched on anxieties, in business, which it's a normal thing. You are gonna have the anxiety when you open a store, when you open a launch. You have that thing of either when you're starting, it's batho ring, then you have batho reka, then it's you know, but the importance of spirituality.
Yeah.
What grounds you? How it? What question I'm trying to say is, how has that worked out for you? Having a source that that you can draw strength from, or just when it's all getting too much, just pull back to your.
With me, there's two things that have always grounded me. Especially, I suffer from like anxiety, and funny enough, a lot of people tend to think peeling. Yes, I laugh, but I'm the shyest of them all. And sometimes, it was also quite bad for me, because I was not used to the social media space. I was always like, go open, post a more, and then when the brand started growing, and then this attention came, and then it's like interview here. It came to a point where it was like, okay, I can't do this because I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
But one thing I know is that, guys, prayer, you'll never go wrong. I've always been kohai, we've been a high belief, there's a God, there's a creator, and Mbali touched on the point that there's someone who's created your path way before, way before everyone knew what your path was. And for me, when there's times where I get overwhelmed, or sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing, because there's times in business where you don't even know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it's a plan, but then it's like, okay, you feel so overwhelmed that you don't know what you're doing. And for me, the one thing that has always kept me close is that I pray. I speak to God. And we believe in ancestors. I believe that my forefathers walk with me wherever I go and with God. And secondly, you always need a supportive structure of like your parents or your family or anyone that's close to you. And I've always had that. I mean, my parents, I'm an only child. So so that's like the only people, that I trust with my whole being. But prayer and being spiritual and being in touch with God has always been my source of comfort, my source of, if everything I feel like is not going right and I just need to take a breather and reset myself, having those conversations with God have always led me to where I am now. Yeah.
2 seconds. My life just went out and people were enjoying the convo so
Sorry.
much. I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay. So faith. Ne?
Mhm.
Are people going to buy or not or what? But if you're going into business, you need to have like 150% your faith how pushing you in that direction, because if you are lacking in that department, you're not going to start the business. And also we like filling our minds and our heads with negative things like, what if I don't make it? What if you make it? Like, what if I didn't leave the defense force? I was still gonna be there now.
I still can't believe it.
I was still gonna be there in the defense force, angry, sad, miserable, But then I took that leap of faith. I trusted God and I was like, there's no way. Like, I also feel like the more you have faith, the more you trust God and you're just risking it, the more the more he shows up for you.
Mhm.
Like now I'm not scared of anything. And when I tell people this, maybe they feel like maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
But-
and I think when you say, you're so right, because when you have faith and you say, there's nothing that scares me, especially in the Black culture, it's just like either o na le noha
Yeah,
or
there's
o
something
tiisitse.
yeah,
what
exactly.
what's
And it's
happening.
like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like, but why do we pray if we can't, have faith in that, in what we're asking for,
But I am not scared of anything. If I want to do something, if I want to start a new business or whatever, I know that my God will carry me. And you need, like, your relationship with God. I know not like other people believe in ancestors and they believe that they're ancestors. And I don't want to like be that person who says, no, you only answer to God only because other people believe in whatever they believe in. I answer to God. And guys, my life, sometimes I sit. I think that week when I launched the store, I was crying almost every day. Driving back from main lane, I used to cry every day because I was like, wow, how can God take me from this and put me here just like that? And all I had to do was just believe that he can do it for me. And he did it. And he did it like he gave me more than I wanted and more than I needed. And he's making sure every time, even when I have challenges, I'm like, God, I know that you have a solution for me. The only thing I'll do is just be positive and keep pushing. I know you're going to solve this thing for me. And like I said, your journey was created. He knows that you're gonna come across this person, this problem, this and this and this and this. And he installed in you the solutions to all those things. Like how I solve my problems won't be the same like how you solve your problems, because my problems are for my journey. Your
Yes.
problems are for your journey, and how we think, how we use that is different.
Wow. I'm so inspired. And I think the reason why we have the transcript is for that. If you're sitting and you want to draw strength from something, it's one thing. I always say it's one thing to look at people. It's another to know their story and to know how they got to be where they are, and that's the point of a show like the transcript, is to document it and say it hasn't been easy. Yes, I look pretty, but I was like drilling. I honestly cannot picture you drilling, and it's remarkable. I need to say and tell you both that I am in awe of the both of you, because you have, and I feel like this is only the beginning. Like I could easily say, why not buy a franchise? Like, why don't you buy into Steve Madden, and why didn't you just become a makeup artist? But you so bigger than that, which says a lot about you, your faith, and what you want for yourself. So with that, I'm going to say props to you.
Thank you so much.
Oh.
We're going to move into the second segment of the show, which is the gag is.
Mm.
So with the gag is I play a jingle, and then this is where if there's any rumor, like any rumor, anything you wanna just clear the air right now, this is your platform. You know, and I mean, for me, it's just like there are things like when I had Alex from Chameli,
Yeah.
you know, I had him on the show, and his gag was, "I'm not adopted," and I sat down and I was like, "How many times have I heard that rumor?" Actually, you know, and it's just like people will say things, and it's like you've never given me a chance or come to me and ask me, you know. So if you know whatever it is,
What the streets are saying.
what the streets are saying, this is your chance. The gag is, and then after that we move into another segment.
Okay.
Okay.
Ke tla emela Mathapelo
You
to lead
lag
me.
The gag is.
To lead me.
The gag is.
Oh my God. Did I come from a big family?
Okay.
No, it's literally me, my dad, my mom, and that's it.
Pressure though.
No, I don't have siblings. I don't know. People think I've got either someone older, younger.
Pressure. Don't you feel like there's pressure because you just have to be like, it's you?
No, I think my parents have always given me freedom to be creative, freedom to be whatever I want, and whether I fail at it and I stand up, and move on, they'll always be there. So the pressure, I think the pressure sometimes comes from me because I'm such a perfectionist. So if things go wrong, I'm like, oh, I could have done this to do it right. I could have done that, but yeah, no.
Okay. Mbali?
The gag. Guys, I'd love to say today I've never addressed this like this, but my boyfriend didn't fund my business. Like, it's you
And
taking.
I'm sure that you get that a lot.
Yes,
'Cause
and
like,
it's taking away from the hard work because it means you're telling me that
you're just a pretty girl.
yeah, you're just a pretty girl, and if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have what you have now. Hemos of law was never gonna happen, and all that. And I hate it so much. I hate how also women are the one saying this thing.
Oh no.
We need another podcast about that.
I hate it so much. Like, if I was funded, it means if I was funded, there's money there. That's, you know, why am I working so hard? Why am I showing up so hard? Why am I telling people, please buy my makeup, please do this? I'm always promoting my brand almost every day, every single day. Why would I do that if I have something to fall back on? I wouldn't do that. I'll just be like, I own Hermosa Flow, whether you buy a lipstick or not. I don't care.
Yeah, Papa.
Because there's money where I come from, you know? But I hate it so much.
Oh, I think, you know, that gag is also nice.
I hate it so much.
But aren't you glad you cleared it out?
I'm glad. Because also, my pension money was a lot. 10 years. It was a lot.
No, 10, I mean, you said 10 years. I'm like, that's a lot.
My pension money was a lot. Like, it was enough for me to do exactly what I wanted to do with that. Because I was working that I knew that I was going to get. And yeah.
And as you said, this was your calling. So
But
God had made provision for it.
If it doesn't work out, Hemosaflo, then he'll start something else. What hair thing now?
The passion changes.
Yes.
Okay. Mama, there was, you know, I'm getting teary.
No.
The next segment, right, is called The Forward. Now, if you know, if like you read a book, right, you know that in every book, there's a part where it's called the forward, where someone else who's read your book says something about your book or about you, to say, yes, I saw this person, yes, Nikilida, whatever, right? These are your forwards. Okay.
I'm lost. Yeah, no.
Okay. No,
Please
so these are like
explain that.
testimonies,
Yeah.
right? These are your forwards.
Okay.
So if you were writing your, like, if this was a book,
Yeah.
right? These would be what I'm about to play for you now.
Oh, okay.
Things or what, how you've touched or impacted people
Okay.
Oh, no.
in and around you.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not gonna say who's starting or whatever, but I'm just
to me powerhouse, and I think God brought me to Mbali and brought Mbali to me, and she's such an incredible businesswoman with a crazy work ethic. When they say the devil works hard, gorgeous Mbali works harder. She has such a great work ethic, and as a human being, very empathetic, very passionate, and also very soft and kind. She's a person whose emotions you can't really read, and you never really know when she's happy if you don't know her or when she's sad. But she's an incredible, incredible young woman with a really great, bright future. What I really also appreciate about her is that she's very honest. She's very honest about her goals, and she definitely, like she always says, you have to choose between fear and faith. She's definitely chosen faith to work around her life and around everything that she does, but she also puts in the work. You know, when you put up candles on Twitter and you say, we are manifesting, she manifests, she prays, but she also works. Love, love, love her. Yeah, absolutely love her. I absolutely love working with her as well.
Hi, my name is Lesedi and I'm the social media manager at adoreD'amour. Mathapelo is such an inspiration to myself and her team and so many young girls and women all over the country. What inspires me most about her is just her character. She's such a great boss and she is just the sweetest, kindest, most helpful person, that anybody can ever come across. Under her, I've grown so much, just seeing how she leads her company, how she treats, us, her staff. It's just so amazing to see. And, she always makes sure to go above and beyond outside of her realm as a boss, even if we're having, any personal issues, she's just always there for everyone. And, that's just it's so inspirational. And, she always, tends to involve us in where she wants to go and where she wants to take the company. And, we're just learning every day. And, not many people would do that since, it's her brand. So I just think that that is so inspirational. And, just her leadership quality is just out of this world. So yeah, that is what inspires me most about her. And, we just all love her at Jador.
how does that feel?
Yo,
I see both of you are just like
I'm so teary. Yo, I'm so. But I want to say, guys, hurry. I'm going to cry again now. Yo, let me. Yeah, akitsikering, guys. But I want to encourage batho gore, please use the platform that God gave you to.
let's go.
Oh my God!
You need to say it. Say you need to say it.
No. Like, please use it, like that power God gave you and trusted you with. Use it to change the maphelo a batho ba bangwe and not destroy people. Like, I think maybe 2017, I realized that God gave me my platform, social media, to inspire, change the maphelo a batho, to touch Mathapelo a batho. And ever since then, I was like extra and super careful with what I post, you know. And sometimes you get messages like, "Oh, Mbali, you don't know, Guti, I was going through this and this and this and that, and your stories, Zang Caesar, you know." And that's when you know that, you know what, life has meaning. There's a reason why I'm here. So use that power, your social media power, finance, if knowledge it, use that to build other people and to be that angel on earth for batho ba bangwe. So that when when you're not there and people are now talking about you, people that know you, people that have experienced you, the real you want people to say nice, beautiful things about you, and also do things because it's the right thing to do, not because I want people on social media to see me as the sweet girl or because I want more customers to buy in because they think that I'm a nice girl and I'm all for women. But go when the cameras are off, I'm this mean person, everything. Like social media now has taught me to always be kind, always be kind to even if I don't have anything nice to say, I don't reply to anything.
Yeah.
Like via DMs, I won't be like, I want to be that, savage and be like, yeah, this and this and this. I don't want that. I'm now grown. I understand myself. I know myself. And the only thing I want to be known and remembered for is that girl Naiberekela so hard, inspiring us, there to listen to us, if Rinyaka advice, there to like help us out. Only that.
I am so humbled by hearing, the forward or the voice note that someone, sent. And it goes back to my belief that I've always said to myself, the thing that I want to be remembered for is how I treated people, what I could give back to people. And, hearing such words still gives me faith that I'm still on the right track. And, for me being Mathapelo, and because there's a Jadot, it was made because of other people, from consumers, from the team that works with me, from being on shows like Tshiamo because you've seen something in me or Mbali or anyone that you have on your show. And, I am so humbled. I cannot begin to, comprehend. But all I can say is that, I believe and I hope that I continue to touch people's lives in whichever way. Whether I work with people, collaborate with people, or they just see my story as an inspiration
Or
for
give
them.
shoes to people.
Yes, and exactly they get to get inspired to start their own businesses, whether in the footwear industry, in the food
Yes.
industry, in whichever industry. But being able to have that, to be that torch to say, girl, whether o tswa ko magaeng, o tswa ko kasi, o tswa ko ditoropong, if you say you want a global company, it doesn't matter if you're born in South Africa, in Kenya, in Europe, you can make it.
I actually
yeah.
want to say, that time when it was I was trending for welcome to the party, blah blah.
What
blah,
is
blah,
that?
blah. Guys, like I think so I was approached by a channel. They wanted me on like a reality show, and that reality show was aligned to my business and everything. And I said no because of that, because of how like that whole thing. The bullying made me say no. But then I think after a few months I was like, guys, someone's out there is waiting for me go ke share story saka.
Hey.
My story is very important for that girl ko Soshanguve. If I don't use voice yaka to tell you that if I'm from Sosha and I could do this and I am here now and where I'm from didn't stop anything for now and it didn't even limit me, you can also do it. And now, yo, guys, I am everywhere. If you want me to speak tomorrow somewhere, I'm there. I'm there. I'm doing it because I understand that I have to use my voice. I have to share my story. I have to do that. And I can't take away taba ya gore ke tswa Soshanguve. I remember people were like, yeah, she's from Sosha. She sounds like she's from Sosha. That Sosha is very important.
But it is very important.
Very important. Like that stand out because of your nataba eo. It's
Funny
my
enough,
power.
I only realized I was doing my research and I read like a bit about you. And then I heard you speak Siswati, and I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm just like, you know, and I think it's because, you know, social media, or rather society, has channeled us to think when you're pretty, you speak
Yes.
Certain
you
way.
know, you just say champagne, hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
You know,
But I'm from Sosha.
Kota weeds.
I mean,
And it's like, but you
and-
know,
and
ke godile ke dlala party, Chicago.
Shika and Mugusha. And it's like, even when I do interviews, I make it an effort for people to understand that, yes, I can speak English. I'm like, yes, darling, yeah, of course. Mari, ke tswa ko Eastern, ke tswa ko Kasi, ke
But
Mathapelo.
and also people
You
think
know?
because you sound like this,
Yes.
you're not smart. You're not smart.
Yeah.
And I don't think there was a point in launching Hermosa up till now where I said somewhere and they were like, we can't hear you. You know, they hear everything.
Yeah.
Even as long as they can communicate, the guys, lady supplier, and they can hear me.
And
like,
the Chelete is on the up.
I am happy.
Yeah.
I'm
Give
okay.
expectations.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I think when I started my business, the first thing I was trying to get a grip is that people thought it was a white-owned business. And it was like, adoreD'amour.
But it's like when I said, exactly. But that's why I was like, Jadot,
No.
Mathapelo.
And I thought some people thought I was like the spokesperson at one point, and some people thought I was just like a model Nyana, and then I was like,
Or a
no.
face.
Yeah,
There's
the
someone
face,
behind the whole
like
thing.
ambassador, or I was like, no, guys. It's
This
my
is
brand.
me.
Yeah, and then they're like, no, it's the founder and CEO. Marikana designer, seriously. And I was like,
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
let's wrap it up. The last segment. It's called From My Lips to Your Ears. All right, I'm going to play the jingle, and this is your parting words to the listeners. Right? So, and then after that, so after I play the jingle, you give me your quote, and then you answer a question, which is, how do you own your season? Okay. Are you ready?
I took it. You're on your own.
From my lips to your ears.
Oh, like something to inspire. Believe your own hype. Oh, guys, I actually want to speak on that.
Oh,
Like,
speak on it, girl.
believe your own hype. Create this wave about you and believe it. People believe it when you believe it, and they see that you are living up to it every day. You understand? Like Beyonce, follow Amanko Instagram, no one.
No one.
But she knows that she's the girl. She'll come there and she'll come there, post one thing and leave. But we are like, oh, Beyonce. She knows she's the girl. I feel like they explain now, guys. Happy to support because so no. Believe your own hype. Create hype ya how. Create a wave ya how. Namo life I believe in creating waves. And when I speak of the waves is always have something that you're working on. Always keep yourself busy. How are you elevating like you as Mbali, as you know? do this, do this. When people are still nibbling on Hermosa floor, you're moving to Angela. When they're busy
Okay, clearly
enjoying
something cooking.
Angela, you are, but you're
Mm.
doing it for you. You're pushing
Mm.
yourself. You know that, you know what? There's nothing that can stop me. It's just me against me here. And you just show up every day for your life, and you are present more life in your house, so that you know, even when God is trying to communicate with you and tell you that you're not going this direction, you're going that direction. Be in tune, like be about you every day. But I carry iba arrogant.
Eh.
Be about you. Know your power. Know that you are powerful. You don't need anything external to validate that for you. Be that. Believe that.
For me, it's two things. It's dream big and just start. I cannot begin.
Say that into mic, my love.
Oh, yes. Dream big and just start. And many times we are so afraid to dream big, even if the dream that you have does not make sense to you at the moment. Just start it. Just start it with whatever, whether it's 10 ranta or 100 ranta in your pocket.
With your knees
And
shaking.
with your
Yes.
knees, just start. And those are like the two words I always preach and I tell people. And it's because of the life lessons I've learned that sometimes we are always trying to find the perfect time, or we try to downgrade our dreams because we think that other people won't believe in them, and that is what stops us from ever trying to achieve our dreams. So dream big and just start. Whether the circumstances look like
Tlhabona ko pele.
if you have to freestyle it, you freestyle it all the way.
Yeah.
Can I be honest?
Yes.
I'm about to cry because I'm so happy that I listened to the voice that said, speak to get these two girls onto the platform. Because yes, we had a discussion, but I feel so inspired. I'm leaving this and I'm just like, my God,
Yeah.
I'm seeing God's grace on both of you. I'm seeing how, you've created your own paths, and it's very hard to cut the noise out. It's very hard.
It's very, very hard.
And you are doing it, and you're doing it on a daily basis, and it shows. And when you show up, as you said, when you show up for yourself, the universe will respond.
And also, if you know your power, even if there's this noise, you're like, no, I'm not that.
Yeah.
I'm this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to work hard and prove that I'm this.
Yeah.
Prove it to yourself, not to anyone.
No,
Everything
that's-
you do it to prove to yourself that, oh, I'm this smart girl. So you prove that you're a smart girl.
Yeah.
And you're unstoppable, all that.
No, definitely. I think you two ladies are inspirational. I'm seeing huge things coming from you guys, like Forbes lists, billionaire. You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm seeing
Can
you
I
guys.
just have the money and not the magazines and the awards?
They go
just want
hand
the
in hand,
money.
but they go hand
Because
in
also I
hand.
feel like if you're working for awards, you're working for people to say, oh wow, there's a point more your focus, Luena self, it's affected.
Yeah.
Because you're like, why are they not recognizing I'm this hard worker, I'm this singing, I'm this singing, I'm this singing. Let's just work, guys, and just enjoy what we're doing and touch lives, change lives, inspire.
I think for me, I always say to people, be in a rat race by yourself.
Yes.
That's the thing, is most of the times we tend to want to compare ourselves to our peers, and again trying to get recognition from other people. If you're not getting that pat in the back, just be in your own rat race. Just be your own rat race. You'll see things flourish.
Guys,
I'm sitting here going, you should actually start the podcast now. But thank you so much, ladies, for coming in and
thank you so much for having us, Tshiamo.
Imparting your knowledge, imparting your words of wisdom. All the best.
Thank
with
you so
you.
much.
your futures, your business.
I'll share with my people because they are
Sorry.
asking me where can they,
It's going to be on
access this?
YouTube the
Oh,
moment
it's going
I
to be on
end.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, my producer's asking me. I need to know. So yeah, last question. How do you own your season?
Mathapelo, ke re ke thomile.
It's about when,
Yeah.
you know what? How I own my season is being true to myself. True to myself, true to my goal, and yeah, just being authentically me and showing the people I'm authentically me and not be apologetic for it. It's either you like me, you like my brand, or you don't. You keep it moving.
Like, to me, it's like owning the authentic you. Owning the authentic you and living your truth every day, where no one can come to you and say, but you are this and this and this. You know your truth. You are authentic every single day. And knowing also, so I own my seasons, all seasons with God, in me. In me. My God is not around.
I see you
He's
preaching at
in
some
me.
point in your life. I don't know if you've had that thingy, but I see you on a pool. I see you on a pulpit.
One day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never go.
You know what? The Church of Mbali.
The Church of Mbali.
Re bianca di
Yeah.
lesh ka di-
But
understand?
yeah, I own all seasons with God. And I know that there's no way I'm failing because He wants to make sure that the assignment that He was created me for is completed. So no matter what happens, I'm going to come out a winner because He's in me. Yes.
Thank you so much. With that said, you are, of course, listening to the podcast. Sorry, the transcript. Now I'm just like, but is taken over. I'm just like in the spirit now. I'm just like, but yeah, thank you so much, and all the best. This is Tshiamo, and thank you for the transcript.
Thank you.
With every moment, you are creating an impression. Make sure it's an impression by design. This is the transcript with Tshiamo.